Hello everybody, welcome to the Redmen TV and my match reaction as Liverpool were beaten 1-0 at the hands of Galatasaray in Istanbul on what turned out to be a little bit of a nightmarish night for the Reds for a variety of different reasons. I'm reticent to call that a night's entertainment. It was far from it. It nearly broke out into a football match every now and then, but the referee put pay to that on numerous occasions. But let's have it right. Let's call a spade a spade. The Reds were poor, really poor, off the back of what was a properly disappointing and frustrating and below par performance of the weekend. I think we all expected and hoped for a reaction, and we didn't get it. It was far from it. It was on par, if not arguably slightly worse at times, disjointed, lacking tempo, and again, I don't think the ref helps that, but ultimately it's down to us. We never tested the keeper at all second half, I don't think. Never really created much in the way of clear-cut chances, full stop. Certainly not as the game wore on and become more and more desperate and tried more and more things, threw more and more attackers at it, seeing what would stick. Just nothing. The final third play was really poor at times. And yeah, I must admit, felt like just wanting the game to stop and be put out of my misery, and it compounds and gets even worse when Alisson Becker makes another save and doesn't get back up again and has to sort of hobble off moments later. Mamardashvili comes on to replace him, so who knows the extent of that injury, but Alisson Becker going off injured is never a good sign. We've seen all too often, for a goalkeeper especially, he can pick up quite lengthy absences in terms of being on the injury table. So yeah, fingers crossed for a decent outcome there, but who knows. And then not long after, Hugo Ekitike, again, as if it couldn't get any worse, insult to injury, Hugo Ekitike also hobbled off, seemed to overstretch, and both of them, Liverpool were their own worst enemies time and time again tonight, just giving away possession and gifting Galatasaray encouragement. And when you go to an atmosphere, an environment like that, it's hostile, it's tasty, it's all the things you've got to try and overcome. And silence, we just bought into it and just encouraged the fans and encouraged Galatasaray, gave them confidence and belief that they could get something out of tonight, and lo and behold, that's what they do. And when you play a team like that, that whenever you think of the Turkish league, you've got all the momentum and they keep winning games of football left, right and centre, when you give them the hope and the belief that they are a match for you and capable of giving you a bloody nose, then guess what? You get a bloody nose. Yeah, it's mad because it's unfamiliar territory for us really to lose back-to-back games and suffer consecutive defeats like we have done, certainly under Arne Slot. But it feels like instantly we're all questioning everything when it comes to the Reds. Like, do we need to go back to the drawing board? All the new signings don't seem to be gelling. They don't seem to be working on an individual or sort of cohesive basis. There's more questions than answers off tonight, in my opinion. Loads of unforced errors, just a properly ever-strewn performance, left, right and centre, individual problems all over the place. I don't want to sit here and bemoan everything and throw the baby out with the bathwater, because, again, if we win at the weekend, it's been a strong start. You could sort of, as staging posts go, draw the line at the next international break and say, okay, it's a fair reflection of where we're at and what we're trying to do. But tonight was not it. Tonight was really poor again. And Arne Slot's got a lot of problems to solve and try and resolve before the weekend. So, yeah, not a good night's work. And like I say, hopefully, fingers crossed, we get some positive news around Alisson Ekitike, because out of Liverpool's performances and performers this season, they've probably been two of the standouts, I would say. And yeah, Alisson Becker tonight, we were indebted to him once again up until the moment he had to hobble off. So, yeah, bad night at the office for the Reds once again, and we'll try and put it all right on Saturday against Chelsea, which is a pretty tricky assignment. But we've got to respond at some point to what's been a really disappointing 3 or 4 days after what a mere 5 days ago all was rosy. We kept getting late winners, we kept winning games of footy, life was boss. Not so much. Football, does this to you. Right, anyway, that'll do for my reaction. There's loads more to come. We've got the unenviable task of speaking about that game for the next few days. Head to redmenplus.com for all the coverage of it. And yeah, we'll do it all again the weekend. Take care. See you soon.